I can't find Olivia's pacifier, I said, opening the top drawer in the dresser. Did you move it? Brooke didn't answer. My fingers brushed past socks, a pair of folded baby mittens, then paper. I pulled it out slowly. It was folded 3 times, tucked beneath a diaper pack like it didn't want to be found. What's this? She turned around from the mirror, hairbrush midair. What? This? I repeated, holding it up. Paternity test. Her eyes widened for half a second. Then she looked down. I opened it. I read it twice, and I felt something inside me split. Not loudly. Quietly, like the sound of fabric tearing under pressure. It's not mine, I said. She didn't speak. Olivia's not mine, I said again, slower this time. Wait. As if saying it differently would change the result. I was going. To tell you, really? I laughed, hollow. Before or after college applications, Brooke finally spoke. It was just one mistake. I didn't think it. You didn't think? You lied to me for 2 years. My voice shook. You? Watched me feed her, change her, rock her to sleep, knowing she wasn't mine? I thought you'd leave if I told you. I stared at her. You didn't give me the chance to choose. She needed a dad. I needed the truth. She stepped toward me. Arms out like that would fix anything. You've been an amazing father. Nothing has to change. Everything already has. Please, Mason. I made a mistake. But you love her. You love both of them. I shook my head. You're talking like that erases what you did. I didn't want to hurt you. Then why does this feel like dying? I turned away from her voice and stared at the crib. Olivia's pacifier was right there, beside her stuffed giraffe. I picked it up. My hand trembled. I gave up everything for you, Brooke. I worked nights, doubled shifts. You told me she was mine. She still is, in every way that matters. No, she's his. My throat tightened. And I don't even know who he is, do I? She looked away. Unbelievable, I muttered, dropping the test on the bed like it burned. Who is he? It doesn't matter. It matters to me. Doesn't want anything to do with her. He's gone. And you were just gonna keep playing happy family with me? I was scared, Mason. Scared of what? Me walking away? Yes. I stared at her. You made sure I'd never get that choice. She grabbed my hand. Don't do this. Don't. What? Leave? Cry? Scream? What exactly am I allowed to feel right now, Brooke? Mason, 2 years. I pulled my hand back. Do you know how many diapers I changed? How many times I stayed up rocking them while you slept? She whispered. I know. No, you don't. Because you didn't just lie once. You lied every single day after. Tears spilled down her face. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I'll do anything. Just don't leave. I don't even know who you are anymore. I turned to the closet, grabbed a bag. I stuffed the essentials in wallet, charger, a couple shirts. It didn't feel real. None of it did. You're overreacting. Overreacting. I looked at her, stunned. You shattered my life and you're calling this an overreaction? I didn't mean to, you just meant to keep me. She flinched. I zipped the bag. Fast. Loud. Final? She followed me to the door. You're going to leave, Olivia? Alex? They were never mine, remember? You don't mean that. I looked at her, voice low. I wish I didn't. Reached for my arm. They'll miss you. I'll miss them more. And then I walked out. Into the cold. Into the unknown. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't care. The street was quiet, but my head was loud. She lied. She lied. I built my whole life around that lie. Asterisk, you knew the whole time? She froze. I didn't raise my voice. Didn't throw anything. I didn't break down. Just stood there, staring at her like she was a stranger. Mason, don't say my name. Just answer the question. She swallowed. I didn't know for sure at first. And when you did know, silence. I nodded. Right. It was complicated. No. It wasn't. You lied. That's not complicated. That's clear. I didn't think it would matter, she whispered. I laughed. Sharp, ugly. You didn't think it would matter if I was raising someone else's kid. You love them. I thought they were mine. They are yours in every way that counts. No, I said, shaking my head. They're his. Whoever the hell he is. Said you didn't care who he was. I didn't. Back when I thought he didn't exist. He doesn't want them. Neither do you, apparently, or you wouldn't have lied. She stepped closer. I stepped back. I was scared, she said. I dropped the bag on the floor. Stop using fear as an excuse. Fear doesn't last 2 years. Fear doesn't look a man in the eye every day and say, you're their dad. I didn't want to lose you. You lost me the second you decided to keep lying. They love you, Mason, and I love them. But I don't know how to look them in the eyes anymore and not see you. She opened her mouth, but I kept going. I stayed when things got hard. I worked 2 jobs. I missed sleep. I gave you everything I had, and you watched me do it with a secret in your back pocket. I thought if I told you you'd hate me, you were right. Her eyes filled with tears. Please don't say that. Why not? You said worse every time you lied to my face. I made a mistake. No, a mistake is forgetting milk. A mistake is yelling during a fight. Yeah. What you did was calculated. She didn't deny it. I picked up my bag again. You're really leaving? She asked. I already left, Brooke. The second I opened that drawer, I left. Where will you go? I'll figure it out. Mason, don't. You don't get to beg now. She stepped in front of the door. What about Olivia, Alex? I don't know. They'll be confused. So am I said. But at least they're too young to remember this. I won't be that lucky. She moved aside. I walked past her. You said you loved us? I turned. I meant it. You didn't? She flinched. I walked out without another word. The night was colder than I expected. My hands shook, not from the cold, but from everything boiling under my skin. I kept walking. No plan, no destination, just away. I called the only person I could. Yeah, Drew's voice answered groggily. It's me. What time is it? Late? You okay? No, a pause. Want to come over? I'm outside. Click, then footsteps. The door opened and Drew stared at me, eyes adjusting to the porch light. You look like hell. Feel worse. He stepped back. Come in. I dropped my bag by the couch and collapsed onto it. Drew leaned on the counter. What happened? What happened? Lead? She cheat? Yeah, but that's not the worst part. He raised a brow. She told me Olivia and Alex were mine. No way. I found a test hidden in the drawer. His face darkened. You sure? I nodded. Read it 3 times. He ran a hand over his face. Man, I feel sick. You want to punch something? Yeah, but not her. Just the wall. Then start with this pillow, he said, tossing it at me. We just painted. I laughed barely. You staying here tonight? I don't have anywhere else. You have my couch always. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling. What do I do, Drew? You breathe, that's it. 4. Now, I miss them already, you should. That's real. Doesn't make you weak. I'm not sure who I am without them. You're my brother, he said. That's still something. Have you eaten today? The nurse asked. I blinked. Coffee. Does that count? She raised an eyebrow. Not really. Sit tight. What? If you pass out, I'm not carrying you. What? I gave a weak smile and sat down. The clinic smelled like rubbing. Alcohol and something sterile like life being held together by a thread. You here to donate blood? Someone asked beside me. I looked over. She had dark eyes. Calm. The kind of calm that didn't feel forced. Yeah, I said, trying to feel like I still matter to someone. She nodded, not surprised. You look like someone who forgot how. To breathe, that stopped me. What's that supposed to mean? Exactly what it sounds like, she said. I work here. See the look all the time. What look? The one you're wearing? I looked away. Didn't realize my face was a billboard. You didn't cry in the parking lot, but you looked like you wanted to. I smirked. Is this part of the donation process? Nope, just being nosy. I could have used a warning. She stuck out her hand. Taylor. What? Shook it. Mason, you always this good at small talk? I used to be better, before everything fell apart. She sat next to me. You want to talk about it? I hesitated. You always do therapy on blood chairs? Only when someone looks like they've hit bottom? I let out a dry laugh. I didn't just hit bottom. Built a damn house there. That bad? She Lead Taylor didn't flinch. She just waited. She told me I was the father. 2 kids. I believed her. Raised them for 2 years, and they're not yours? Nope. Some other guy's. I don't even know his name. Did she tell you? She didn't have to. I found the test. She nodded slowly. That kind of truth feels like drowning, doesn't it? I haven't slept since. I keep thinking about their faces. Olivia's laugh. Alex's bedtime. Stories, it's all still in my head, but I don't know what any of it means anymore. You miss them every second. Taylor leaned back. When my sister died, I took in her daughter. Everyone told me I was too young, that I'd ruin her life, that I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Not even close, but she still calls me mom. Something tightened in my chest. You ever feel like loving someone that deeply makes you stupid? All the time, she said, but I'd rather be stupid with a full heart than empty with pride. I wish I could think like that. You will. I stared at the tiled floor. I keep trying to distract myself, donating blood, volunteering, but I still feel useless. You're not, she said. You're grieving over kids that aren't even mine. They were yours in every way that mattered, not legally. Love doesn't need a lawyer. I looked at her. You always talk like this? Only when someone looks like they've forgotten who they are. I paused. And who do you think I am? She smiled gently. A man who still shows up, even after everything. I didn't know what to say. Stay after your appointment. She said, have a coffee with me. On the bench outside. You asking me out? No, I'm asking you to breathe. With company. I nodded. Okay, she stood up. I'll be at the nurse's station. Don't pass out before we get to the coffee. Asterisk. Your call cannot be completed at this time. I ended the call. Tried again. Blocked. I sat on the edge of Drew's couch, his phone still in my hand, like it might change its mind. Nothing did. She blocked me, I said. Drew looked up from his. Cereal? You serious? She blocked me, man. No warning, just silence. He put the spoon down. What about the kids? They're just gone. Did she say anything? No goodbye, no explanation. Just disappeared with them like I was never part of their lives. Drew stood. That's not even legal. It is, I muttered. I talked to a lawyer. And, no. Right? I'm not their biological dad. I have no legal claim. I was just a stand-in. His mouth tightened. That's insane. You raised him. I know. But the law doesn't care how many diapers I changed. Silence sat between us for a minute. I stared at the floor. You know what hurts most? What? I didn't get to say goodbye. Not even a hug. They probably think I left. Drew. Sat beside me. You didn't. But they don't know that. He didn't respond. Just let me sit there with the ache. Later that night, I was alone. Lights off. Curtains closed. My chest felt heavy, like breathing was work. I scrolled through. Old photos, Olivia's birthday, Alex's first steps. Brooke had cropped me out of the newer ones. I tapped a video. Say, Daddy. I whispered from behind the camera. Da-da. Gold. Lost my kids, and I'd never hold them again. My phone buzzed. Taylor, come eat. You're not alone. I stared at the screen. Then I texted back. Me. I don't feel like eating. Her reply came fast. Taylor, I didn't ask if you were hungry. 15 minutes. Later, I sat across from her at a quiet cafe. I hadn't even changed hoodie. Sweatpants. A face that hadn't seen rest in days. You look like hell, she said gently. Feels worse on the inside. She slid a plate toward me. Eat something, even a bite. I picked up the fork. Thanks. For texting? I figured you'd need it today. How'd you know? Same reason you knew to sit with me at the clinic. People in pain recognize each other. I poked at the food. She blocked me. Just cut me off. She's scared. She should be. Scared people do stupid things. So do angry ones. Are you angry? I don't even know. I said, mostly I'm just empty. She nodded. Grief feels like that. I thought grief was for death. Loss is loss, Mason. I put the fork down. I keep hearing Olivia's voice in my head, her little laugh. The way she used to grab my finger when she was scared. Taylor was quiet, and Alex's my throat closed, used to fall asleep on my chest. Every night, you loved them like they were yours. They were mine. She reached across the table, then they always will be. I looked at her hand, didn't take it, but didn't pull away. I just want to know they're okay. They are. Kids remember love. Even if it's not in front of them anymore, do they remember the pain too? They remember who showed up, even if it was just for a while? Voice cracked. I didn't get to say goodbye. You showed up for 2 years. That goodbye was in every bedtime story, every bottle, every time you stayed when it got hard. I still feel like I failed. You didn't. I couldn't protect them. You loved them, she said. That is protection. We sat in silence. A tear slid down my cheek before I could stop it. Taylor didn't say anything, just let it fall. Asterisk. Want tea or coffee? Taylor asked, setting 2 chipped mugs on the table between us. Doesn't matter. Just warm, I said, wrapping my hands around one. She smiled faintly. I always pick tea when I'm trying to forget. What are you trying? To forget? She looked down, stirred her mug. My sister. She passed 2 years ago. Car accident. I'm sorry. Thanks. She hesitated, then looked up. Her name was Haley. She had this annoying laugh like a cartoon character, but God, I'd do anything to hear it again. I nodded slowly. What was she like? Loud. Messy. Loyal. She was my anchor, Taylor said, voice cracking. And when she died, everything just shifted. I didn't know what to say, so I sipped the tea, waited. My ex Jonah, he couldn't handle it. He left 2 weeks after the funeral. What? Just left? Yeah, said he couldn't deal with me grieving. Said I was too much. That's insane. She gave a soft laugh. The day he packed his things, I asked him what he wanted me to do. He said, smile again, like it was that easy. I clenched my jaw. That's cold. I thought so too. But he left and I had Haley's daughter Ava, 6 years old. Suddenly I wasn't just heartbroken. I was a mom. You took her in? She's mine. No papers needed. I swallowed hard. You don't have to be blood to be someone's family. Taylor met my eyes. Exactly. That line hit me like a punch to the gut. She leaned forward. What about you? You ever have someone you loved like that? I didn't answer at first. Then I said, yeah, to someone's your kids. Your Kims. I nodded. What were their names? Olivia and Alex. She whispered their names back. They weren't mine, not biologically. But I raised them like they were. Diapers, fevers, nightmares, everything. What happened? Their mom lied, said I was the dad, for 2 years. Then one night the truth just fell out. Taylor blinked. How do you survive something like that? I don't know if I did. Her voice was gentle. Tell me about them. I exhaled slowly. Olivia loved stars. Every night she'd beg me to take her outside and look up. She called Orion the belt guy, and Alex, he was obsessed with dinosaurs. I'd do these terrible T-Rex impressions, and he'd fall over laughing. That sounds like love. It was you ever get to say goodbye? Shook my head. Brooke, her mom, blocked me. Said it'd confuse them. I didn't get to pack their things. Didn't get to explain. It's one day I was daddy, the next nothing. She reached across the table and touched my hand. I'm so sorry. I stared at our hands. Her fingers were warm, soft. I keep hearing Alex's laugh in my dreams. I wake up and forget for a second. Then it hits me. Taylor nodded slowly. Grief is strange like that. It doesn't just fade. It mutates. I miss being needed, I admitted. You still are, she said softly. By who? By someone who knows how it feels to be left. To carry weight that wasn't hers. To keep showing up anyway. I looked at her, really looked. You mean you? I mean us? I didn't know what to say, so I said I don't want to be broken anymore. You're not broken, she whispered. You're healing. I swallowed the lump in my throat. You think people like us get happy endings? I think people like us build them. We sat in silence, letting that settle. Then I said, "You ever miss him, Jonah?" "Sometimes," she said honestly, "but not the way I miss myself before him." I nodded slowly. I get that. Stood and walked to the kitchen. "You hungry?" "Not really. I made soup anyway." "You don't have to be hungry to eat. You just have to sit with me." I smiled. "That your philosophy? One of them? You're full of these little wisdom bombs." She grinned. Occupational hazard. When a 6-year-old asks why her, "Mom's a star now. You learn to say things that matter." I stood and joined her. "You're incredible. You know that." She looked over her shoulder. Takes one to know one. I paused. "You mean that? Every word?" I set the bowls down for us. "Then maybe I can believe it too." We ate in quiet peace, the kind that feels earned. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't drowning in grief. I was floating, and I wasn't alone. Asterisk. My phone lit up at 2:13 a.m. The name made my chest tighten. Brooke. I stared at it until it stopped ringing. Then it lit up again. I finally answered. "What?" A pause. Then her voice. Soft. Fake soft. "Mason, I didn't know who else to call. You blocked me, I know. You let them call another man Dad. I didn't." She sighed. He left. "It's just me now." I didn't respond. My hand was clenched around the phone. She tried again. "They miss you." "Don't." "I'm not lying. Olivia asked about you last night. Alex cried when I mentioned your name." Shut my eyes. "Why are you really calling?" "I need help," she said. "I've got no job. Rent's late. I can't do this alone," I laughed. "You didn't need me 5 months ago." "Stupid, Mason. I thought I had everything figured out." "I didn't." "No. You thought I was disposable." "That's not fair." "What part isn't?" "Fair, Brooke? That you used me as a dad until it didn't suit you?" She was silent. I could hear her breathing in heaven. "I'm not asking you to come back," she whispered. "Just be there, for them." "You mean free babysitting?" "Grocery. Runs. Sleepless nights." "I mean love. They still love you." That one cut deeper than I expected. "I love them too," I said quietly. "Then come see them." I hung up. The silence afterward was worse than the call. I sat up in bed, staring at the ceiling, wide awake. I thought about Alex's tiny arms, wrapped around my neck, about Olivia's lopsided drawings taped to the fridge, about the last time I tucked them in. My chest felt heavy, like something was pressing me down from the inside out. A message popped up. "Drew, you okay?" I stared at it, then typed back, "Brooke called." Seconds later, he called me. "What did she want?" he asked. "Help. She said the kids miss me." Of course she did. Her backup plan failed, so she's crawling back. I'm not going. Back to her. "But you're thinking about the kids?" "They were mine, Drew. Not legally, maybe. But you were their dad, man." "I get it. I can't stop thinking about them. But you can't save them if it means drowning yourself again." My throat tightened. "They didn't do anything wrong, and neither did you." "But she did. Don't let her guilt trip you into a prison." I didn't answer. He sighed. "Look, I know it hurts, but Brooke only calls when she needs something. It's not because she cares, and not because she suddenly sees your worth." "I'm not sleeping anyway," I muttered. "Then don't make decisions tonight. Sleep. Breathe. Call Taylor." I haven't told her about this. She listened. I ended the call and stared at the wall. 15 minutes later, I texted Taylor, "Me, you up?" Which she responded immediately. "Taylor, yeah, you okay me?" "No." "Taylor, want to come over?" "Me? You sure?" "Taylor, always." Her door was already open when I got there. She didn't ask questions, just handed me a mug of something warm and sat beside me on the couch. I stared at the steam. "She wants me to see the kids." Taylor nodded slowly. "Do you want to?" "I don't know." "Yes. No. Maybe." She didn't push. "Just let the silence settle." She said, "They miss me." I'm sure they do, but what if they forgot me? They didn't. Kids remember love. I'm scared. She looked at me. Of seeing them again. Of seeing them and realizing they're better without me. They won't be. I finally looked at her. You sound sure? I am. Because broken people don't break others. You didn't leave them. You were taken. My hand shook around the mug. She placed her hand over mine. Don't let her rewrite the story, Taylor said softly. Don't. Let guilt undo your healing. I thought I was stronger by now. You are. That's why you're asking the hard questions instead of running back. I leaned my head back. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. You don't have to decide tonight, but what if they need me? She gave a small smile. Then we figure it out. Together. For the first time in hours, my chest loosened just enough to breathe. Knock, knock. Are you expecting someone? Taylor asked, wiping her hands on a towel. No, I said, getting up from the couch. She opened the door and froze. Two small figures stood on the porch. Olivia held Alex's hand. A crumpled note was pinned to Olivia's jacket. My breath caught in my throat. Daddy, Olivia whispered. Alex's eyes lit up. Daddy. He rushed forward, arms outstretched. I dropped to my knees. Oh my God, what are you doing here? Taylor picked up the note. Her eyes scanned it quickly, then she handed it to me, silent. You were always better at being their dad than anyone else. I can't do this anymore. Brooke, she left them. I whispered. Taylor nodded. Looks like it. I hugged them both, holding them so tight they squealed. But I didn't cry. Not this time. This wasn't loss. This was something else. Are we staying here now? Olivia asked. I looked at Taylor. She knelt beside me. What do you think, Mason? I looked into Olivia's big brown eyes. Yeah, baby, you're staying. Alex grinned. Do you have cereal? Taylor laughed softly. We've got cereal. We've got way too much cereal. We're hungry, Olivia said. I'll get them something, Taylor said, standing. Wait, I said. What? Why? Why would Brooke just leave them? She's drowning, Mason, and she thinks you're still her life raft. I stared at the note in my hand. She didn't even knock. Just left them. Taylor's voice softened. You're not broken, you know? She saw that. She knew you'd step up. I don't want to be her backup plan. Taylor shook her head. You're not. You're their plan now. The kids were already exploring the living room. Olivia ran her fingers along the edge of the bookshelf. Alex was staring at the TV. I don't even have their toothbrushes, clothes, nothing. We'll figure it out, Taylor said. One step at a time. I exhaled, overwhelmed. They called me daddy again. You are their daddy, she said gently. That never changed. I looked over. You're not scared of this? Of course I am, she said. Been raising a kid who wasn't mine for 5 years? What's 2 more? My voice cracked. Taylor, she reached for my hand. Let's raise them. Together. I squeezed her fingers. You mean that? I wouldn't say it if I didn't. Thank you, I whispered. You don't need to thank me, she said. There. Home. That's all that matters. Alex climbed onto the couch beside her. Are you my new mommy? Taylor blinked. I can be your Taylor. For now, he nodded. Okay. Can I have pancakes? She laughed. That I can do. Olivia climbed into my lap. Are we going to stay here forever? I kissed her hair. As long as you want. She grinned. Good. I like Taylor's house. It smells like cookies. Taylor smirked. Because I make cookies every day, Alex asked. Almost she winked. I looked around my living room now scattered with tiny shoes, toys, giggles. For the first time in forever, it felt like home again. And just like that, 2 small feet at my door changed everything. Asterisk, you've got to be kidding me. Taylor shut the door behind me. She really said that. She showed up at my work with a lawyer. Tay, a lawyer. What does she want now? She wants them back. Taylor's face froze after 3 months. She said she made a mistake. I threw my keys on the counter. She said she was overwhelmed and didn't know what she was doing, and now she does? Taylor scoffed. Now that they're stable, now that they're laughing again, now she wants to play mom. She's filing for full custody. Silence. I sat down hard on the couch. I can't let her do this. I won't. You won't have to, Taylor said. We're fighting back. She's their mother, and you are their father. She shot back. Biology doesn't excuse neglect. She brought a lawyer, Tay. Then we get one too. I stared at the floor. I didn't want this to be a war. She made it one, she said. But if you want me in that courtroom, I'm there. I looked up. You'd testify? Absolutely. I reached for her hand. Thank you. We're not losing them, Mason. Court felt like a battlefield. Brooke stood across from me in pearls and pity. Her voice trembled as she said I was struggling. I've gotten help. Therapy, a job. I'm ready to be a mother again. I didn't speak. My lawyer did. But when the judge asked me directly, I stood. I didn't ask to raise them alone, I said. But when she left them at my door, I didn't hesitate. I didn't cry. I showed up every day. Do you believe she's unfit? The judge asked. I believe she gave them up. Not in a moment of panic, but in a decision. If she hadn't changed her mind, we wouldn't be here right now. Taylor was called up next. She stood straight, voice calm. I've watched those kids grow into themselves again. Laugh again, feel safe. They cling to Mason, not out of fear, but out of love. In your role? The judge asked. I tuck them in, pack their lunches, hold them when they cry. I'm not their mom, but I'm there. Brooke's lawyer objected, said Taylor was irrelevant. The judge shut him down. Relevance is stability. Then came the photos, play dates, birthdays, report cards, doctor appointments. Brooke sat stiff, till she didn't, until she cracked. They love you more than they ever loved me, she whispered, eyes filling. No one moved. I tried to fix it, she said. But they don't even call me mom anymore. The judge raised a hand. Ms. Hart, you'll have your chance. To speak, I am speaking, she snapped, then covered her face. I ruined it. I ruined everything. For once, I didn't feel sorry, because this wasn't revenge. It was reality. Outside the courtroom, Taylor gripped my arm. You okay? I think so, I said. You did it. Corrected. She smiled. You're not shaking anymore. I'm tired. You fought, she said. You didn't freeze. You didn't back down. I looked at her, kept thinking about Olivia's drawings, about Alex calling me dad in his sleep. That's why you won. Shh. Said they love me more. She said the truth, Taylor replied. And the judge heard it. I still don't know what happens next. You keep showing up. It's like you always do. And if she tries again, she won't, Taylor said. Not like this. She broke today. She looked different. She looked like someone who realized her kids don't look for her anymore. Does that make me cruel?
Oh.
Taylor said, it makes you a father. I sat down on the bench and took a breath. I didn't realize I was holding. They're mine. They've always been yours. I leaned back, eyes closed. Let's go home. Out the court finds it in the best interest of the children to remain in the custody of Mr. Mason Reed. I blinked. Ms. Hart will be granted supervised visitation twice a month. Taylor grabbed my hand. I couldn't breathe. And that concludes today's hearing. Just like that, it was over. We stepped out into the hallway. I leaned against the wall, pressing my palms to my face. Did that really just happen? Taylor nodded, voice thick. You did it? I let out a shaky laugh. We did it. A small hand slipped into mine. I looked down. Daddy, Olivia said, tugging gently. Can we get ice cream now? I choked back a tear. Yeah, sweetheart. Can get all the ice cream in the world. She grinned, skipping ahead. Alex rode on Taylor's shoulders, arms flailing as he made airplane noises. She called me Daddy, I whispered. She always does, Taylor said. No, I mean she didn't hesitate. Not in front of lawyers, judges, her mom. She just said it, 'cause that's who you are. I stared at them, those two little lives I once thought I wasn't worthy of. I used to think I had to earn it. You did earn it, she said. Every school pickup, every scraped knee, every sleepless night, you earned it. We walked toward the elevator. Brooke stood down the hall, alone, eyes red but dry. She didn't approach. She just watched. She didn't even fight at the end, I murmured. She knew she lost. I don't hate her.
What?
You don't have to, Taylor said softly. That's the difference. 3 months ago, I thought I was just babysitting. They're home now. I glanced at her. Do you think they'll forget? No, she said. But they'll heal, will she? I don't know. That's not your burden. Alex shrieked with joy as Taylor dipped him like a roller coaster. Olivia giggled behind him, holding her arms out like wings. I used to think Dad was a title I didn't deserve. You became it. I'm not their father, I said quietly, voice thick. I'm their dad. Taylor smiled. And that's all that matters. We stepped out into the sunlight. Olivia ran ahead toward the car. Chocolate chip, shouted with sprinkles. Alex echoed her from Taylor's shoulders. Spree inkles. I laughed. Guess we're doing ice cream before dinner. Taylor nudged me. They deserve it. It was the first time in years it didn't feel heavy. Do you want ice cream? I asked. She smirked. Only if you're paying. Deal. She leaned into me as we walked. You feel lighter? I am lighter, I said. I didn't think peace would feel this quiet. It's the kind of quiet you fought for. We reached the car. I buckled Olivia in as she chattered about chocolate and rainbow toppings. Alex kept humming in the back seat. I looked at my reflection in the window-tired eyes, a few new grays, but peace, real peace. They chose me. I whispered. Taylor opened the driver's side. Of course they did. No, I mean they chose me. Not by blood. Not by obligation. They just love me, because you never stop showing up. I shut the door and climbed in. I don't think I ever knew what family felt like until. Now, you do now, she said, starting the engine. And in that moment, with 2 kids laughing in the back seat and Taylor humming along to a song on the radio, I felt it. Not the fear, not the pain, not the fight. Just this love. Peace. Home. For the first time in my life, I was complete. Daddy, can I pour the syrup? I looked up from the griddle. Olivia held the bottle upside down, grinning like a mad scientist. Only if you promise not to drown your pancakes this time. I like them soggy, she said proudly.
Alex.
Peeked over the table. Me too. Taylor sipped her coffee, amused. Your children have no syrup control. I flipped the last pancake, our children. She looked at me over her mug. Yeah, ours. Sundays became sacred. Pancakes, cartoons, music, no rush, no court dates, no drama, just peace. Mommy T, can you cut mine like triangles? Alex asked. Of course, baby, she said, sliding into the seat beside him. I watched her how natural she was. Kids adored her. Not because she asked them to, but because she simply showed up. You okay? She asked, catching me staring. Yeah, just thinking about everything last year. How different it all was. She reached for my hand across the table. We've come a long way. It feels like a different life. Because it was. The twins started arguing about who got the bigger pancake. Taylor played referee. I just sat back and smiled. A year ago, I was in survival mode. Now, I was building something real. Later. I sat in the backyard while Alex chased bubbles and Olivia drew with chalk. Taylor came out with lemonade. Deep thoughts again? Always? She handed me a glass. Want to talk about it? I still think about her sometimes, Brooke. I nodded. Taylor sat beside me. It's okay if you do. It's not hate, it's clarity. She showed me everything I should never accept again. She taught you what not to settle for. I looked at her. And you taught me what love actually looks like. She blushed, laughing. I'll take that. I don't miss her. Just remember that's healing. I sipped my lemonade. Life didn't go how I thought it would. One's does. But maybe it turned out better. She nudged my shoulder. Definitely better. The kids ran up with chalk-covered hands. Look, Olivia pointed to the pavement. She'd drawn 4 stick figures, 2 tall, 2 small. That's us, she said proudly. Taylor asked, who's who? You, Olivia said, pointing to the smiling stick woman. You're Mommy T. I swallowed hard. Taylor blinked. Fast. And this is Daddy, she added, wrapping her arms around my leg. Alex tugged my hand. We made a family. I knelt beside them. We are a family, a real one, built on truth, not lies. Lies, not blood, just love. Later that night, Taylor tucked the twins in while I turned off the porch lights. The house was still, safe, full. She met me in the hallway, her voice soft. You okay? I nodded. I finally feel like I'm home.
You are.
I looked at her, at the closed door behind her where the twins were already asleep. They call you Mommy T now. I know, she smiled. It never gets old. I held her hand. Thank you for staying. For loving them. For loving me. We chose each other, she said. And we had. I lost the life I thought I wanted, but found the one I actually needed. I lost lies, but I found truth. I lost fake love, but I found something real. I found them, and I found me.